Hi, my name is Natalia and this is my knitting podcast. I'm coming to you from north parts of Denmark, and this week I want to talk about two finished objects and four work in progress. And I want to start with what I'm wearing today. This is a weekend sweater. It's a pattern by Andrea Marbury, but I modified this. I believe the pattern called for worsted weight yarn, but I made this in light fingering yarn. This is marlet yarn, and it has some tweedy dots, and they are really different colors like red, pink, yellowish, bluish. But I really like this. There is some project on Ravelry. The woman also used the finger and weight yarn, so I decided to go for that because I'm not really a big fan of the worsted weight yarns. Okay, not yarns, sweaters. I believe that they are too heavy for me, or at least for how I'm dressing them, because when I'm dressing them in winter then it's too warm outside, and in autumn here in Denmark it's mostly like wet and rainy, so just in sweater outside it's not the best idea, at least I think like that. So I made this pattern in light fingering yarn, but I cast on, I don't know, I think for size L or XL to get size what I need. It has quite a lot of positive ease and the sleeves are quite tight. I also make decreases in different way, but I believe that there is notes on my project page. If I will need the sweater one more time, I think I will make one modification. I will make sleeves also in reverse stocking stitch. This pattern is knitted bottom up. The body is knitted in reverse stocking stitch, and then when you go into the sleeves, you go in stocking stitch. But I think that if I will do this one more time, I will make this in reverse stocking stitch also. But other things, I'm really happy with this sweater. It's really wearable for me. I'm using this quite often during the winter time, and not just winter, during cold time. Next we can go for my finished object. So last time, I believe I just slightly before previous podcast, I cast this balaclava hat. It's called Honey Gold Balaclava by Camilla Kolding Christensen, and I made this for my son. The pattern called for sportwear yarn, but I can't get gauge with any sportwear yarn what I had home, and I wasn't wanted to buy more yarn, because this year I decided to use more of my stash yarn, don't buy more yarn, because I don't have really big stash, but I like to use that because I see that during the years my color palette changed, my preference in yarn changed, so I think it's better to use that what I already had, because if I wait in a year or 2 or 3, then I don't want to use this yarn at all, so better use this now. So long story short, I held some sock yarn held double, forget gauge for this hat, and I'm really happy with result. It's really soft. This sock yarn, it have some different it's not 75-25 or not 80-20, it's 50-50. So it's 50 wool and 50 acrylic, but it's look feels really soft, and even that I wasn't blocking this, the stitches lie really even, and I'm really happy with this result. My son really liked this hat. I make a size 4 to 6 years, so my son is 6, but he's quite small for his age. So he really liked that hat. He wear this next day. After that was ready, he asked if he can get this to kindergarten. Of course, I was happy with that. So he take this to kindergarten and was happy to wear this. It's have really, your ears is covered, your neck is covered, and here in kindergarten they really like hats. They recommended hats what's covering kids' neck. Then kids feel warm and they like to stay outside. So that's really nice pattern. I can recommend this. Feels really nice. There will be linked to my project paint down below, and I will try to insert pictures of my son wearing that. My next finished object is a tea. It's called Sancho by Claudia Eisenkold. This is tea. It have really interesting construction. You make two front separately, then you pick up in stitches for making this green, not marlet, but this one color part, what is like shoulders, hands and the part of back, and then you join in all the body together and knitting. I need this pattern held yarn in 4 strands because I use some yarn, but I believe it's more for machine knitting. So for this marl effect I use 2 strands of this light green color and 2 strands of dark color, and for this green part I use yarn held in 4 strands. But I really like how it's fit. I need size S on the recommended needles. I believe it's size 3 millimeters. I'm not sure, but you can check my project pages. So, and I also will try to insert the photos me wearing this, but I'm really happy with fit. It have here I-cord ending. I blocked that quite aggressively, but it still rolls, so, but I know that I-cord H10 rolls, so I don't know how that will work out, if that will don't bother me. If that will bother me, then I will try maybe block this again or think what I can do. But out of this, I think it's really great fit, and I think to make one more like that, just maybe with black and white or gray and white, to have something more everyday. But I really like, I think it will be really nice to wear this with jeans or shorts. So I'm looking forward to have this on for warmer weather. Even that I look in Denmark, oh, positive vibes. So that's just that what I have finished for this week. But now we will go for the work in progress. My first work in progress, living not in a project bag but in a basket, because it cannot be in a project bag anymore. It's look like that now. So this is pattern called Villa by Frida Frankie. When I'm looking there, I have my project in like my notes. So to tell exactly names and designer names, because sometimes I forgot. So I'm almost ready with body. I'm now on the rib portion. This is the front. I don't know how good you can see this, but I will try to insert the pictures. It's have this two colors rib, and the rib is separate the front and the back, and slightly longer in the back and slightly shorter in the front. I really like how this rib is looked. I don't like to knit it, so that's taken me a really long time. But I really like yarn and how it's knitted. I don't know if you can see different colors in this yarn. I use two shades of gray. I think it's two light grays. For me it's light gray, maybe that is medium gray, but for me it's two light gray colors. So this is my two colors. I think they have nice contrast. Sometimes I don't like to go for high contrast. I like more light contrast. The yarn is called Black Hill Reborn. I bought this in my local yarn shop, Carnal Silk, and it have 80% recycled merino and 20% another fibers, I guess, and it have 300 meters per 100 gram. The pattern call for some yarn what is mix mohair and wool, but there wasn't any yarn what was with fibers like that what I can find, and I get engaged with this yarn, so I decided to use this. It's really soft. It's recycled yarn, but it's really soft and it feels really nice, so I decided to go for that. I get one problem with this yarn, because when I ordered that, I bought for some reason just 200 grams of main color and 100 gram of contrasting color, but then when I separate sleeves and the body, that I was almost finished with 100 gram of yarn, so I found out that there's no chance I can make all body, and the sleeves also call for color work. I found out that there is no chance that I can make all this with leftover 100 gram, so I go back to shop, but they don't have that color anymore, and because it was some small amount of yarn what they produce, they hadn't this at all. So they recommend me Facebook group for the people who are using this yarn shop. So I write in the Facebook group that I'm looking for this yarn. First no one wasn't answering me, but within 3 days some woman answered me, and I was really happy. She had 200 grams what she bought previously, and she wasn't sure if she was able to sell me that. So I bought this 200, even if I was saying that I will maybe need 100, but I really like the feel from this yarn, so maybe I'll make some mittens from this. I think that will feel really nice. So I have yarn, now I'm safe. I was waiting with the sweater a little until I get the yarn, to be sure that the color is the same and be sure that I have enough yarn to continue, because I wasn't ready to put all my work in color work and then rip it out, because I cannot finish the sweater. So this is my first work in progress, and I hope to be done maybe in a week or two with that. I don't think I will get the weather to wear this now, because it's beginning of March, when I will be ready with this maybe to the end of March, and I hope for nice weather this spring. So I don't think I will wear this season, but I'm looking forward to wear this sweater, I think this is really nice pattern. My second work in progress is living in project bag what I buy in the shop Sustrana Krana. I think it's a Danish shop, but I hear that you can find this all over the Europe. And they selling quite nice things, like things for house, for decoration, some kids toys, but more natural, like wooden toys, or they have different things and nice things. They have also yarn, but I never knit with their yarn. Maybe I should try once. So in this bag, it's Living the Shell by Maria Sosha, and it's called Jana, and it's a mosaic knitting shell. This is my first attempt to knit mosaic. I don't knit anything mosaic stitch before, but I really like how it's knitted. I knit this on 3mm needles. It's wooden needles, but I don't know the company what it is. And so pattern is really nice. You have this part what have pattern, and another you just garter stitch, and you just slip in stitches when the pattern call it for that. It's going really nicely. I'm looking forward to wear this. I think that will look really nice with my jeans jacket. So I think I will get a lot of wear with this in the spring. It's not really warm. It's hard to tell like that. Anyway, that's finger and weight yarn, so I think that's appropriate for the spring. And what yarn I use for this? Again, I bought this yarn is called Black Hill Socket, and it's also from my local yarn shop. It has 75% of lamb wool and 25% of nylon, and it's told that it's 187 meters for 50 grams, so it's heavy fingering weight, but it's actually knitted like normal fingering weight. So I bought the pattern called for 100 gram of main color and 100 gram of contrasting color, but I bought 4 balls of this light gray color, so I bought 200 grams, yes. And half of the yarn I over dyed with avocado, and it's have variegated color, and I really like this result, and they have really nice contrast. So I like how it's looking together, and I'm looking forward to have it done and wear this. The pattern called for, I believe, 7 repeats. The pattern have like some repeat, and then it's called for make this 7 times. And now I believe I'm on second one, so I have a lot work to do. But there was some project would distract me from sweater and shell, and I was knitting this constantly. So last week, I don't know if I showed this on the previous video, but last week I started one more tea, and this tea is called Rosewater Key by Alana Peck. I believe she have another design name on the Ravelry, but I will link my project page down below. So I start this project last week, and now I'm almost ready with that. I'm impressed. So this tea is started from top, and you're going down. There have some waist decreases, and it's have stocking stitch and twisted rib. I really like how twisted rib looks, but I cannot tell that I like to knit this because I feel like that's a struggle to pay attention for every stitch, and your hands it's used to do this in different ways, so sometimes I catch in myself on that I want to make this in different way, so I should really pay attention. But that's body is done, one sleeve is done. I was hoping to be done with this at all, but I have really short time available today before I need to go, so I finished the sleeve part and went to the ribbon and make one round of ribbon, but the pattern called for 8 rounds and then cast off, so 7 rounds and a cast off, and the t-shirt is ready. I really like how it worked out. So I hope today in evening finish the sleeve and block it. I use helical knitting with this sweater, and I really like how it looks. This don't have any, you don't need to twist yarn to alternate the skins, and because this yarn I also dyed myself, I use sock yarn, also 75-25, but it's different company producing, so yarn feel differently, and I don't have colors like it was, but now that's what I have left over. It was light green yarn, and I over dyed this with avocado, slightly differently at that another, and the yarn pick up colors also slightly different, so this one look more brownish compared to that what I use in my shell, but I like this. It have different shades of brownishly, pinkishly. I don't know how camera will show this, but I will try to insert some pictures. If no, there will be link down below to my Instagram page, and I also always put in pictures of my project on my Instagram, so you can follow me there and look. And this project is living in project bag what I made for myself. So this is my 3 knitted work in progress, and I wanted really long time to start making a granny stripe blanket. It's crocheting, and I wasn't really looking forward to crocheting, but I don't know why. I learned how to crochet before, but that was looking weird for me. Maybe I just think that back that time there wasn't, I don't find some pattern what really was called for my attention, so I never pick up any crocheting, but this time I decided to pick up this and make granny stripe blanket. So I start this like, I don't know, like 3-4 days ago. I believe 3 days ago. And I really like it. It's a lot faster as knitting, I believe. And for now I'm picking up like grayishly, bluishly, greenishly shades and making a blanket. I don't know what's the length of this blanket for now. No length, how wide it is, but let's call this a meter, so it's less than 2 meters because I don't have a meter, and I held this double now. I really like how it is. I pick up a yarn what I have around, like leftovers yarn or yarn what I don't attempt to use in anything else, but they cannot go in my cozy memory blanket, so it's more heavy as finger and weight yarn, and I put in this blanket. So far it's growing really fast, so I'm interested for how long my yarn will last, because I don't really want to buy more yarn, and I want to hold this in one color palette, so I don't want to add like some red or yellow here. So I really like this. I'm interested how far I will go with this, but so far it's really easy. I use the video from YouTube. I just write how to crochet granny straight blanket, and there was a video what explained you how to start this. I don't remember how much exactly I cast on for this, but I make note on my project page to know this, and I'm using 4mm hook. I don't know what this hook is, what company and anything like this. I just bought this in a thrift store because they had this and I was wanted to try this, so I decided that's a sign. And the pattern is actually was called for 4mm, and I'm going with this, and I like how it's look. I don't know how long that will take me to make this blanket, but I'm happy to have something like that, not on my needle, on my hook. So that's all my work in progress for today. To talk about my yarn acquisition, I'm trying to don't buy yarn this year, but last week I was going to the library and there was yarn shop on the way there, and here in Denmark they like to put baskets with yarn what they have offer for outside, and when I was going near that, I see that they have this regia. It's perfect kids color, so from this yarn you can get two identical socks, and it's on the label you can see the colors what you will get. This is 60-gram balls. I actually can get socks for myself from 60 gram, but for kids they don't need it more. So, and it's have I don't know how much meters it's have. Strange. It's a German yarn, but they have meterage in the yards, but I know that in Germany they use meters. So it's 276 yarn per 60-gram ball, and I believe it's 75-25. Yes, it's 75 virgin wool and 25 polyamide. And I bought, they had 3 colors. This blue color, they don't have names, it's just numbers, so it's 02989. Then it's more darker blue compared to this one, like bluishly purplish, 02988. And then this green one, it's 02987. And they was on a sale for 10 krona. It's less than $2 per ball. And soon I believe I will cast some of this and we'll start to knit this. It's really fun to knit because label inside, it's explaining you how to knit it. I believe that you are pulling yarn from inside, and then there is a lot yellow stripes. You actually don't need them, so you pull in them, then you start in I believe they start this with cuff, and then you're going down, so you making cup, and all explaining you when you need to cut this yellow yarn and when else you need to start. So I'm really happy to have this now in my stash and need some more socks for my son. And also there I find this cotton sock yarn. I never tried to make socks from cotton yarn before. It's not just cotton, so it's 100-gram ball, and it's have 420 meters per 100 gram, and it's have 72% of cotton, 18 of polyamide, and 10 of polyester. And I see that people are using this for making socks, and lately I really like to use short socks, and I think that I will try to make shorty socks with this cotton yarn, and maybe that will be nice to wear them in the spring. So after I will cast this on, I will let you know how it is. This ball, it's number 02424, and it has some lemons and limes on the front picture. And that's another, it's 02426, and it have different apples, and the yarn is called Cotton Color Tutti Frutti 2. Yeah, same. Also there was 10 krona ball, so it's less than $2. I'm really happy about this yarn and hope to cast some socks soon. That's all my acquisitions for this week. And now I don't have any project from my Make 9 on the needle, so I decided that I want to cast on a shell. It's called, I believe it's called Doodler by Steven West. I will try to insert some picture of that. It's really nice 3-color shell, and it have like crescent shape. And my favorite shell for now, it's Exploration Station, also by Steven West. So, and it also have this crescent shape, so I'm looking forward to cast that shell. But I get in a problem when I don't know which combination of yarn I should use. So I really want to use this green color in that. It's have like darker green, lighter green, and some black speckles in, and I really like how it looks. So I was thinking to pair this with this yarn. It's have also some lightish green colors and some pink speckles, but I think they go nice together. And this one yarn is in a cake now, because I use this yarn in my Hour pullover by Sari Nordlund. It was whole double with my hair there, so the yarn look really different from this one, color look. But I think that will be quite a nice combination for that 3-color shell. But I also have yarn. It's have more bluishly green colors, but these two are coming really nice together. And I was thinking to make this 3 yarn. And now I don't know, should I use this combination or should I use this combination? if you have some suggestion, please let me know in a comment below, because I really don't know what I should do and which color I should use for this, and I really want to start that. And I cannot use 4 because the shell is colored for 3 colors, and I want to cast that on because I really want to make 9 this year. I wasn't trying anything like this last year, but this year I'm really interested to try this, and so far I have 2 projects what I done. That was a no frills cardigan and Piece of Silver by Vera Valamaki. So far so good, but I have long list to do on my project 9, and I really want to cast something on that. So that's all what I have for today. I wish you all a nice week, nice crafty week, and I will see you next time. Hi.